story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real. Mathnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 60 minutes, in cooperation with CTW, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case, from beginning to end. From crime to punishment, Mathnet is the story of your mathematicians in action.
It was Monday, 9:43 a.m., and food had gotten so expensive in New York City that people no longer ate their lunch in restaurants. Instead, they brown bagged it at their desks. They didn't eat food at their desks, just brown bags. My partner is George Franklin. The boss is Joe Greco. My name is Tuesday. I'm a mathematician.
Pat, I gotta tell you, I feel really silly.
You look adorable.
I feel like I ought to say trick or treat.
Mathnetters, we're ready for you. Follow me.
Hey, how's my hair, huh? Sweetheart, come do my... No, we don't have time? Great, okay.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Whoa! Hey, we're back, by golly, and doggone glad you stayed with us. You know, my next guests are with Mathnet. Is that right, Bob? Mathnet? Yes, Mathnet. And by golly, they're here to help promote Math Awareness Week. It's going to be all across these great United States of America of ours and yours, and hey, by golly, yours truly. So how about a big MP Donnawhy welcome for Pat Tuesday and George Franklin. Pat, George, come on, get out here. How are you? You look just fine. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. So then you are mathematicians. That's great. What are they, like dental technicians?
That's very funny, Mr. Donnawhy, but no, not quite.
Okay, then. Now, according to my researchers, I am supposed to ask you this question. How long do tigers live?
Beg pardon?
Whoops. Silly me. Silly moi. This question, of course, is for the Detroit baseball manager. He'll join us just a little bit later. So, tell me, folks, what are you doing on my show?
Well, as you probably know, many young people in this country are falling behind in learning mathematics.
Well, sure. That's just because American kids are plain dumber than kids in other countries, right?
No, of course not.
Well, I don't know. Hey, they sure look dumber than I did, folks.
Believe me, Mr. Donnawhy, they aren't any dumber than you are. Oh, well, were. I meant dumber than you were.
I was pretty dumb. You know, folks, I was so dumb, I didn't know Columbus discovered Ohio until I was in college.
Mr. Donnawhy, math is important. Most everyone uses it every day, even if they don't know it.
Well, I don't. I have people on staff who add up my money.
Mathematics isn't just arithmetic, Mr. Donnawhy.
It isn't?
No, it isn't. There's geometry, probability, combinatorics.
It's used to solve problems.
Well, I'll take your word for it. After all, you both are dental technicians.
Mathematicians. Look, Mr. Donnawhy, mathematics is the foundation of science and technology.
Well, you've heard of them, haven't you?
I think so.
They influence all aspects of our lives, from health and environment to
financial affairs and national defense. Math is more and more important to our future.
We're not kidding, Mr. Donnawhy.
I can see that. Come on here, lighten up a little.
I would just like to say one thing. Wake up to mathematics, America, because your children are at risk.
Okay, that's enough, please. Folks, make welcome now my next guest. He's a man who has just come through an exciting, life-threatening experience in the Bermuda Triangle. Now, of course, you...
The Bermuda Triangle?
Yes, Mr. Franklin, you've heard of it.
The Bermuda Triangle is a hoax. It's been proven to be a fraud. I mean, anyone with a pittance of a brain and a smidgen of rationality knows that.
Oh, yeah? Well, for your information, I believe in the Bermuda Triangle. And I'm surprised that you don't. After all, it does have a triangle in it, and that's mathematics, isn't it?
Let me ask you something, MP Donnawhy. What does the MP stand for? Math-phobe?
No, it doesn't. It stands for meat puppet. Now, please, folks, a nice welcome for Captain Philip Francis Bogey Queeg. Bogey, get on out here. You look great. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable, Captain. I must apologize for this guest's rude outburst.
Yes, well, I'm used to it, Mr. Donnawhy. There are non-believers out there. But as a man who has just gone through this haunted area of sea, I'm here to tell you it exists. I kid you not.
What proof do you have?
Oh, Captain, perhaps you would like to explain the Devil's Triangle?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Mitch?
This is the Devil's or Bermuda Triangle. And it is an area in which thousands of ships and aircraft have disappeared without a trace for hundreds of years. The triangle is bedeviled.
Captain Queeg, scholars have proven that most of those mysterious disappearances, as you call them, were not mysterious.
Mr. Frankly, please.
Do you know the case of the Sqaure, Queeg? It's a case you guys often cite.
Oh, yes, of course. The Sqaure. The Sqaure was a 350-foot tramp steamer.
Wrong. It was a 185-foot vessel.
It was sailing in June of 1950.
Wrong. It sailed on April 5th.
The weather was perfectly clear when the ship sank.
The weather was near hurricane conditions when the ship sank. Queeg, you could put that triangle on any ocean in the world and find as many, if not more, disappearances, and they usually have a rational explanation.
Now that's enough, Mr. Frankly. Captain Queeg, I understand that you've brought along some film to show us. Why don't we do that now?
Yeah. This is film I took on my last trip in the Bermuda Triangle. And believe me, Mr. Donnawhy, it is my last. Those seas were mean, I kid you not.
Your ship looks like a matchbox, Captain. You're very brave.
Yes, I am. Here you see what the seas are capable of. They're whipping my men from pillar to post.
I've always been afraid of water.
I have a healthy respect for it. I haven't bathed since I got back into port.
Well, that would explain it. Whoa, what's that big old thing?
This is hard to believe, I know, but that's a sea monster.
Oh, weren't you scared, speechless?
I
Well, I can't stand it. There have been 3 different ships in these pictures, and these events supposedly all took place the last time Queeg went out. I mean, it could be footage from old horror films.
Oh, hush. What were you doing in the triangle in the first place?
I was on a quest, looking for the H.M.S. Twain.
The H.M.S. Twain? I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Her. She was a British ship that sunk off Bermuda in 1780. The cargo is thought to be very valuable.
You mean gold and silver and diamonds?
And maybe more.
Boy, oh boy, I'd go for it. How did you find out about this H.M.S. Twain?
A young girl told me about her. She figured out the ship's location, and I agreed to take her there, but...
And that's when all those devil things happened to you.
Aye. We located the sunken ship by sonar, but then the devil protected her by sending the demons of nature down on our heads. We were lucky to get back to Bermuda alive.
Wow. Now, this is fascinating stuff. Stay right where you are, because, my golly, we've got to do just a little bit of business here. Now, folks, do you sweat when you get tense? Why not try Pit Be Gone? Take a look. Okay, that's it, Frankly. Off my stage. You... Get off, you show wrecker, you!
With pleasure, meat puppet.
Mathnetters, we have a call for you.
For whom?
Both of you, actually. We can put it on speakerphone. That way, your audience will be able to hear as well.
Hello?
Miss Tuesday. Mr. Frankly?
Yes? Who is this?
Gertrude Ebbtide. I was hoping I'd find you still there.
What can we do for you, Ms. Ebbtide?
Can we have a meeting?
Why?
I was with Captain Queeg on his last adventure.
The one he just talked about on the show?
Yes. Miss Tuesday. Mr. Frankly, Captain Queeg is a liar.
Mathnet will return after these messages.
Hey, take a right at Sardinia. Yeah. Go past Gibraltar. Piece of cake. And hang a Louis when you hit the Atlantic. Okay. Bear right after the Canary Islands and head west across the ocean. Umbriago. This must be America. What a joint.
Maps. Brought to you by geometry. Another division of mathematics. It's more than just arithmetic.
I know I'm going to need mathematics when I grow up. I don't know how I know it, but I know it, and when you know something, it's known. I'll need to figure field goal percentages, the ratios of shots made to shots attempted from the free throw line. I'll need to know statistics, probability, graphic representation, and plain old arithmetic. That's what it takes to become a play-by-play man in the pro ranks. Yes!
Learn math. It's a subject you'll never outgrow.
Hey, Mathnetters. Mathnetters, hi. I'm Gertrude Ebbtide.
Hi, Gertrude.
My friends call me Trudy.
Hello, Trudy. Nice ship.
She's the bountiful H.M.S. Twain.
The Twain?
My ship. In fact, this is a replica of the ship Captain Queeg and I were searching for off Bermuda.
Really? A three-masted schooner? It's not of recent vintage.
No, the H.M.S. Twain was commissioned in England in 1775.
At the beginning of the Revolutionary War.
Yes. In fact, she was sailing from Plymouth, England to the colonies with supplies and orders for the British when she sank in 1780.
How do you know that, Trudy?
Well, I had a relative on board.
You had a British relative? Who?
My great-great-great-great-grandfather. He was a British naval captain and skipper of H.M.S. Twain.
So that's how you come by your nautical interests?
I guess. But mainly I'm trying to clear Gramps' name.
He had a dirty name?
Uh-huh. The British were going to hang him as a traitor.
Oh?
Well, Trudy, if the Twain contained treasure, why hasn't someone dived for it before now?
No one knew where she sank, even though Gramps left diaries and junk that have been in the family for 200 years.
So why didn't your family...
Well, they were in code.
And you decoded them?
Yes, ma'am. The first time I did it all wrong. If you want to come to my apartment, I can show you. Come on.
You said your first effort was a failure?
I'll say. See, Gramps used puzzles and anagrams, funny codes. One was Hamilton 70, Jackson 60.
Well, that's easy. That's the answer to the question, what is the score of the Hamilton-Jackson game? Yeah.
There was more. It said, dig deeper and try again.
It wasn't a great speller. Try is spelled with a Y, not an I.
That's what I thought at first. Then I used my noodle and puzzled it out.
My neighbor Dirk Niblick does that all the time.
Most of the ships that sailed to America in those days put in along the Massachusetts coast. So I looked and spotted the towns of Hamilton and Jackson in Massachusetts.
What do the numbers 70 and 60 mean?
I wasn't sure. I tried a lot of things. Degrees, temperatures, map coordinates. Nothing made sense. Then I looked at try again.
Well, try also means three.
Right, as in triangle. So I tried another solution. I drew a line from Hamilton to Jackson.
And the 70 and 60?
I thought of them as legs of a triangle. I cut these coffee stirrers to the scale of the map. The shorter one represents 60 miles, the longer one represents 70 miles. I put the 70 on Hamilton and the 60 on Jackson.
And where the lines touch, voila.
A triangle.
Exactly.
course, you could have laid them the other way.
Yes, but that would have put them in the ocean. And remember the message? It said dig deeper.
And you can't dig in water.
Right. So I figured Gramps probably took the treasure from the ship and buried it here.
No wonder the British were mad at him.
How much is the treasure worth?
Well, according to my decoded messages, there was 1,500 pounds of silver, 1,000 pounds of gold doubloons, plus special orders for General Cornwallis.
What kind of orders?
Gramps didn't say in his diary, just that the orders could win the war for the English.
Gee, imagine if the British had won the Revolutionary War. Yeah. We'd be making a lot better TV shows today.
Anyway, I went to this spot in Massachusetts and got permission to dig.
You excavated?
We dug a gigantic hole and found bupkis.
Nothing?
Right. So I figured I'd made a mistake and try it again. The next solution took me to Hamilton, all right. Hamilton, Bermuda.
Then what?
I did some more decoding and figured out about where the ship might have sunk and got a grant of money from the American History Institute to try and recover her. There must be something on board that will clear Gramps' name. The trouble is, my money's run out.
How did you get involved with Queeg?
He has a salvage company and dives for lost stuff. Plus, he was the only one I could find who wasn't afraid to go into the Devil's Triangle.
That hoax again.
Trudy, just a minute. You said the H.M.S. Twain was sailing from Plymouth to America. Well, what was it doing in Bermuda?
I'll show you.
Well, that's right. Bermuda's hundreds of miles off course.
Well, that's right, Mr. Frankly, but according to Gramps' diaries and from reports from other ships I've dug up, the weather in the North Atlantic was treacherous at that time.
So the H.M.S. Twain probably sailed south.
By southwest to avoid the rough seas. But the weather got worse, and when she neared Bermuda, a hurricane engulfed her and she sank.
Just wasn't Gramps' day.
I guess Gramps made it to shore and later was brought to the colonies. The British tried him for sedition, found him guilty, and were going to hang him, but he escaped.
You have one exciting family tree.
Wish I did. Most exciting thing that happened in our family was the day my great-great-uncle George met Jesse James.
Really?
Yep. Told him the location of the Wells Fargo office.
When I explained my story to Captain Queeg, he agreed to help me locate her.
So you went to Bermuda?
Yes, and using sonar.
Pat, sonar is sort of an underwater radar which detects submerged ships by means of sound waves.
Yes, I know, George. I used to have one.
We sailed to the location I had plotted and swept the area with sonar. Finally found the ship. This is the nautical map we used.
And you dove for her?
No. Captain Queeg chickened out.
You don't mean those things he showed on the Donnawhy show were real?
Absolutely not. The only unusual things that happened were the compass started jumping around, you know, sort of out of control.
Uh-huh. What else?
There were some strange, I don't know, moaning sounds.
Moaning sounds?
Yes. And then Captain Queeg said, "Oh no, it's the devil in the triangle. We've got to get out."
And?
We did. That was 4 days ago. I got on a plane and came back home. Broke.
Well, can't you get another grant?
No, afraid not. That's why I'm racing my model ship. There's a competition coming up and the winner gets $1,000. Maybe I can start again.
Trudy, why did you call us?
I just wanted you to know that you were right about Captain Queeg and maybe you could arrest him.
For what?
Isn't it illegal to lie on television?
We returned to Mathnet HQ and looked at our workload. It wasn't too heavy.
Mathnetters, hi. Am I interrupting?
Oh, hi, Trudy. Of course not. Come in.
Hi, Trudy. What's up?
I thought of someone who might help me make a dive.
Really? Who?
I met him in Bermuda. He's a pirate.
Well, Captain Queeg isn't exactly on the up and up.
No, I mean a real pirate. His name is Long John Silverplate.
Does he have a parrot like Long John Silver did in Treasure Island?
He sure does. His name is Howard.
Did you call him?
Uh-huh. Long John said he could do it, but he doesn't have sonar on his ship. He said maybe Captain Queeg would let us use his. Miss Tuesday, Mr. Frankly.
Yes?
Could you maybe take me to Bermuda?
I wonder if Captain Greco
Would give us a day off.
It just might be worth a try.
Be right back, Trudy. Oh, Captain Greco!
When we explained her plight to Captain Greco, he gave us a day off to fly to Bermuda with Trudy. Bermuda is a beautiful resort island only 784 miles from New York. In less than 2 hours, we were in Hamilton, the capital of this quaint collection of islands. Beautiful hotels and condominiums dotted the white shores of this British colony. There was plenty of fun to be had in Bermuda, but unfortunately, we were working. Wearing our Bermuda shorts, what else? We arranged to meet Long John Silverplate at a restaurant called the Pirate's Lair.
Shiver me cliches if it ain't Ms. Trudy. Park your hind sides in a chair.
Long John, this is Pat Tuesday, George Frankly, and Benny Pill of Mathnet.
Trudy tells us you're a pirate, Long John.
Aye, as was my father before me and his father before him.
Long John is related to Captain Kidd.
Captain Kidd, the pirate?
Aye, and Blackbeard, and Bluebeard, and Yellowbeard.
Never heard of Yellowbeard.
Yellowbeard was a coward. Kill all him. Kill all him.
Pipe down, Howard, or I will be dining on parrot feather bisque again.
Trudy says you might be willing to take us to the location of the H.M.S. Twain, Long John.
I give Queeg a tinkle on the hooter about the sonar, and he said he'd nip on aboard.
Oh, he said he phoned Queeg and he'll drop by.
Queeg is a ning-nong. Queeg is a ning-nong.
Howard knows Queeg?
Howard knows everything.
The population of Pocatello, Idaho was 28,534 in 1960. Fatima was the daughter of Mohammed. By his first wife, Madonna once...
Put a cork in it, Howard.
There's Captain Queeg.
Hello, Trudy. I hope you're not upset about my storytelling on that television program.
Why did you fib?
You have to, it's showbiz. I kid you not.
Captain Queeg, we'd like to know if we can borrow your sonar to find the Twain.
Well, sure, why not? In fact, I'll even go along and show you how it works, okay?
I thought you were afraid of the Bermuda Triangle, Captain Queeg.
Yellowbeard Queeg! Yellowbeard Queeg!
Tell him to stop it. I won't have you birds laughing behind my back. And I'm not afraid, I'm respectful. And it'll pay you to be likewise, okay?
Meet us aboard my boat, the Ricky Ticky. There she be, a fine yar craft, eh? We'll go aboard and have a couple of cups of grog. The old Ricky Ticky, named for me sainted mother.
We boarded the Ricky Ticky, and Bogey Queeg set to work to install the sonar device. He seemed to know what he was doing, so we helped by staying out of his way. In less time than it takes to tell, we had put out to sea. As we neared neared what we thought was the dive site, suddenly we heard strange moaning sounds. The moans got louder and louder, and then Long John pointed to the compass. It was going out of control. Fearing for our safety and the safety of his boat, Long John decided to make a run for it back to shore.
Now, do you believe me? There is truth in the Devil's Triangle, I kid you not. I'll never go back there, and if you're smart, you won't either. Goodbye.
I called Captain Greco from Bermuda and reported our lack of progress. He is a sensitive soul, and he told me not to be discouraged. He also told me never to ask for permission to go to Bermuda again, and subtly suggested we return to New York. We did, and even as Manhattan's glorious skyline appeared, we couldn't help but feel just a tad defeated. Benny Pill had rigged an experiment. He got a small electromagnet and a compass. The needle of the compass is magnetized and freely suspended and points to the Earth's north magnetic pole. By switching the electric power on and off, the magnet made the needle react erratically. Queeg could have concealed a magnet with a switch in his briefcase.
That scoundrel.
But what about the moans we heard?
Queeg could be a ventriloquist, or maybe he had an accomplice, or
when he installed the sonar, he could have wired a tape recorder in the speaker system.
Hey, Mathnetters, guess what? I won the race. I got a check for $1,000.
Congratulations, Trudy. That's wonderful.
Great race, Trudy.
Now maybe I can hire someone to take me back to the real H.M.S. Twain.
Mathnet, Pill. Yeah, just a minute. Trudy, it's for you. Long John Silverplate?
Oh, I wonder what he wants. Hello, Mr. Silverplate? It's Trudy. Guess what? I just won $1,000. Now, will you take me back to that... What? He did what? Well, are you sure? Okay, thank you.
What is it, Trudy?
Well, now we know why Captain Queeg kept trying to scare everybody away with those Bermuda Triangle lies.
Why?
He just filed for salvage rights for H.M.S. Twain, and he got them.
Salvage rights? That means nobody else can dive for.
That's right. Now he owns Gramps' ship. Lock, stock, and barrel. He's making a dive tomorrow. We're sunk.
Introducing your head, the only calculator that can estimate. Watch. What's 6 times 22?
Well, 6 times 20 is 120, so it's a little more than that.
You see, a miracle of a calculator. And you can even give it a haircut. What's 8 times 103?
Oh, I estimate 800 plus a little more.
Well, there you have it, friends. Your head, the calculator that even estimates.
I don't need a haircut.
In every occupation, wherever you may go, you gotta know that. You'll need it for the future, whatever you may do. You need some math to make your dreams come true. You gotta know math. You gotta know math. Yeah.
George, shh.
What are you watching this trash for?
George, Donnawhy is covering Queeg's dive by satellite from Bermuda.
Hey, that's Trudy. What's she doing on the show?
If you quiet down, we might find out.
You know, because of your calculations, we understand that Captain Philip Francis Bogey Queeg has indeed located the HMS Twain.
That's right.
Well, I got to ask you, a lot of my audience is wondering, what the heck? Why aren't you on that dive?
Because Queeg gypped me out of it, that's why.
Whoa, hold on here, young lady. We had Captain Queeg on this stage, and I'm a fine judge of character. The man seemed upright and honest to me, but okay, let's say that what you're saying is true. You must be pretty embittered, huh? You did all the work, he gets all the treasure?
I guess you could say I'm not a happy camper.
We understand Captain Philip Francis Bogey Queeg is back on land, and he's ready to reveal that booty that he's recovered. So why don't we go live now to our studio down in Bermuda where, yes, there he is. Bogey Queeg is standing by. Hey, Bogey, you look terrific there. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes. Good morning, MP.
Did you find the ship, Bogey?
Yes.
Well, then, I guess you're one rich man, right, Captain?
Wrong. The ship was empty.
Empty? That's not possible.
There were Belgian stones for ballast, some dishes and utensils, but no gold or silver. The dive was a bust. I never should have believed that dumb kid.
Good. Serves him right.
What about Trudy? She's got to be heartbroken. She needed proof to clear her forefather's name.
Let me get this straight. You're saying you found nothing else?
I found the manifest.
That, of course, is the list of crew and supplies, but...
Yes, it was a minimum crew with just enough supplies to sustain them. The Twain was carrying nothing to aid the Brits in the war.
Bogey, forgive my incredulity here, but you're not holding out on my audience, are you?
I kid you not. I have pictures that show the sunken hull is empty. Oh, I also found the captain's log. It indicates nothing unusual either.
Well, what can I say except tough luck? Thanks for joining us. You look great. See you next time. Okay, Ms. Ebbtide, how do you explain that?
Well, if he's telling the truth, I'll have to take another look at my material. I know the ship was loaded with valuables plus secret orders. I'll just have to start over again.
Well, you do that, we'll do this. Take a look.
Do you suppose Queeg is lying?
No reason to. He owns the salvage rights.
Could he have just missed it?
1,500 pounds of silver and 1,000 pounds of gold plus precious gems. That's a cargo that's difficult to miss.
You're right.
Of course, we don't know how she determined what's on board. Maybe that's where she messed up.
Ooh, I'm late for an appointment. Something wrong, George?
Mathnet, frankly. Oh, hello, Trudy. What's up? What? Are you okay? We'll be right there. That was Trudy. Someone's broken into her apartment. We'll call the guys in burglary, and then we'll roll. They stole your granddad's papers? And you noticed a sweet smell.
The smell is gone, but so is a copy of the papers. I made 2 copies, but they missed this. The original.
What's this, Trudy?
Well, that's where the H.M.S. Twain now rests.
Alas, ma think not altitude 1236.
Uh-huh. It's an anagram. An anagram, you know, mixed up letters that make up other words when you rearrange them.
Uh-huh. And from alas, ma think not altitude, you've got...
It took me forever, but here's what I got. Thank at Hamilton latitude.
And 1236?
Latitude 32 degrees, 16 minutes. It's just south of Hamilton, the capital of Bermuda. Figured the ship sank there.
What do I didn't give the longitude?
Simple. Longitude wasn't standardized until 1884. I guess it was all the information he had at the time.
You found this in Gramps' sea chest?
Actually, no. This was found in a glass bottle that washed up on a shore in Nova Scotia and somehow got back to Gramps.
What an amazing story. Nice figuring out.
A lot of good it did, but I'm going to keep trying.
Maybe we could try, too. You said you had another copy?
You bet, Mr. Frankly. I keep it well hidden. There's an awful lot of junk in there, but you'll have fun trying to solve the mystery.
Trudy's Gramps certainly was an eclectic son of a sea cook.
I'll say. He wrote letters, poems.
Sea shanties, anagrams. George? I'll be back.
It'll take 2 hours like the last time.
George, didn't Trudy tell you something about her forefather's stuff being found in Nova Scotia?
Yes, but why?
Question's not why, but how.
What do you mean, how? He put it in a bottle and it floated to Nova Scotia. Remember, they didn't find it for months.
George, you couldn't have. Look.
The Gulf Stream, so what?
That's a very strong current.
So the bottle floated into the Gulf Stream and ended up in Nova Scotia.
No. If the bottle was dropped here, the current would have carried it to Spain or Portugal. It couldn't have reached Nova Scotia.
Benny, you're right. So that means if the bottle was found in Nova Scotia...
It had to have been dropped closer to the coast of the United States.
But his message said it sank at Hamilton, latitude 32 degrees, 16 minutes.
Maybe there are still more Hamiltons.
More Hamiltons? On the same latitude?
Hey, it's a possibility. I'll check, okay?
Good idea. Boy, listen to this. What a duo, what a pair. They're a couple beyond compare. What a twosome, what a duet. With a twin like her, I'm sorry we met. You know, I'm beginning to think Trudy's Gramps was 3 sheets to the wind when he wrote some of this stuff.
Let me see that. Duo, pair, twosome? I guess he was really into Twains.
Pardon?
Twain. It's an old English word, means two.
H.M.S. Twain. His Majesty's Ship 2. Huh.
Mathnet Tuesday. Oh, hello, Trudy. You think you found your mistake? Great. What else? Yes, Captain Queeg did say he found the log from the Twain. I wondered about that, too. How could there be 2 logs from one ship? What? It sounds like you're saying blame Earl. Trudy? Trudy, what's wrong? George.
What?
Someone just grabbed Trudy. She yelled something and the phone went dead.
In a moment, we'll return to Mathnet.
If you like Mathnet,
you'll love Sqaure One TV.
It's preferred by
2 out of 3 doctors.
3 out of 4 dentists.
And 21 out of 20 teachers of fractions.
Everyone who's seen it says
it's chock full of
math,
dancing,
singing,
problem solving,
laughing, and of course,
Mathnet every day. It's been called
amazing,
sensational,
colossal.
Look for it on your very own television set.
Not available at theaters and drive-ins all over.
Sqaure One TV.
Catch it or
it will fall
on the floor.
Trudy had been kidnapped. We found no leads at her apartment and we were worried, very worried. She had fallen into desperate hands and we had to find her. The NYPD went over her apartment with dispatch. George, that was the lab. They didn't find any usable fingerprints, but Sergeant Abruzzi found something and he's bringing it over.
Trudy says she found her mistake.
Yes, but she didn't say what it was. She just yelled some gibberish or other.
Gibberish?
It sounded like blame Earl. I don't know.
If her new information is accurate, whoever kidnapped her will get it and glom the treasure. What else?
She asked about the 2 logs.
Yeah, how can a ship have 2 logs?
George, maybe her Gramps was trying to tell us something.
What?
What a duo, what a pair, they're a couple beyond compare. What a twosome, what a duet, with a twin like her, I'm sorry we met.
You mean like maybe the H.M.S. Twain was really 2 ships?
How can we find out?
Well, it sailed from England. Maybe we can check. Now, Alexander, George Franklin, would you put a call through to the British Maritime Commission and then call me back? Thanks.
What have you got, Sergeant Abruzzi?
Oh, it's just a little cold, but, it's nice of you to ask.
I mean, didn't you find something when you searched Trudy's apartment?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Sergeant Abruzzi. Thank you very much.
Okay. But I got lots prettier marbles back at my home.
One of Captain Queeg's ball bearings. He always used them when he got nervous. He's not in Bermuda. He's in New York.
Would you please put out an all-points bulletin on Philip Francis Bogey Queeg in connection with a kidnapping?
When he was on television, he said he was giving up the hunt.
Yes, but as we've learned, Bogey is a liar.
Mathnet, frankly. Oh, thank you. The British are coming. The British are coming. Sir, I'm going to put you on the speakerphone so my partner in the audience can hear. You are from the British Maritime Commission.
I'm Arthur Conan.
The barbarian?
Sir Arthur Conan. How may I be of service?
Oh, yes, sir. We'd like to ask you if you would check your files and tell us anything about a ship named the H.M.S. Twain, which sailed from Plymouth, England in 1780.
It may take a tick. I shall return to you.
Any word about Trudy, guys?
Afraid not, Benny. You have any luck?
Let me show you. There are 24 different Hamiltons in the United States.
That's a lot. Could take us forever to check them.
Yeah, well, I eliminated many of them. For instance, the Hamilton in Ohio
That's here.
didn't exist in 1780.
Neither did Ohio.
They're not doing too good today.
And the Hamiltons in Michigan, Montana, and Kansas aren't exactly seaports. What we're left with is
3 Hamiltons by the sea. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and North Carolina. Wonder if there's another Jackson. Remember Trudy's first clues? Hamilton, Jackson, 70-60?
I checked. There's one in North Carolina.
And we can eliminate Massachusetts. Trudy already checked it.
And Rhode Island doesn't have a Jackson.
Mr. Franklin?
Yes, Sir Arthur Conan.
There was a ship which sailed from Plymouth on September 4th, 1780, called the H.M.S. Twain.
Thank you, sir. Let me ask you another question. Was there a second ship named Twain that sailed from Plymouth on that date?
Just a moment, Mr. Franklin.
There will always be in England.
Hey, what's this?
It's a copy of an old parchment map.
Blame Earl.
What?
Mr. Franklin, 2 ships named the H.M.S. Twain did not sail from Plymouth on September 4th, 1780.
Rats. Thank you for your trouble, sir.
The second H.M.S. Twain sailed from Southampton 4 days later.
Really? Do you know what their destination was?
That's a bit of a mystery. The record simply indicates each was bound for a place called Hamilton.
Sir Arthur Conan, I could kiss you.
Oh?
Thank you, and goodbye.
But why 2 ships? After all, there were no supplies aboard the Twain Queeg found.
Maybe it was a drone, you know, a fake, a decoy.
And the second Twain had the goodies? Why?
Let's remember our American history. In 1780, the war wasn't going too well for the British.
And King George felt he was surrounded by spies and colonist sympathizers.
Carl Simps. Sure. So he sends 2 ships on a secret mission with special orders for his general Cornwallis. He let the word out. Only 1 ship was coming.
So the Americans could sink her, thinking they had stopped the supplies.
And then the second one sneaks in and unloads.
It was probably headed for Hamilton, Massachusetts. Wasn't Boston Cornwallis's headquarters?
I don't think General Cornwallis was in Massachusetts in 1780, but I'll check it in the library.
Hurry up, Benny. Trudy's in grave danger.
George, remember when I said Trudy yelled some kind of gibberish when she was grabbed?
Uh-huh.
Blame Earl. I think that's what she said. Blame Earl. It's on this map.
General Cornwallis wasn't in Massachusetts.
Allow me, Benny.
He was in North Carolina, about to begin a big battle. Look,
There's Hamilton.
and this is Jackson.
What are you doing, Pat?
These are the same stirrers Trudy used to find her triangle.
Yeah, but the scale of the maps will probably be different.
Nope, it's the same. The Hamilton leg is 70 miles long. The Jackson leg is 60.
Now lay them down the other way.
Hamilton 70, Jackson 60. The ship could be here or here.
But those 2 points are on land. It's hard to sink a ship on land.
Well, wait a moment. We're just assuming that the Hamilton leg is 70 miles long and the Jackson leg is 60. What if we try it the other way around? Hamilton 60, Jackson 70. Hamilton 60, Jackson 70.
More triangles?
A Twain set of triangles.
Twain. 2, of course.
Look at those adorable triangles. These 2 triangles intersect and form an X. But this X doesn't help us. It's on land. But this X right here is in the Albemarle Sound.
You know anybody with a diving boat in the area?
No, but I'll bet we're about to.
Blame Earl.
Blame Earl.
Blame Earl.
Albemarle.
Blame Earl is an anagram for Albemarle. Albemarle Sound. All of the clues support our theory. This has to be the place. Saturday, 6:43 a.m., and oh, what a difference a day makes. Figuring we'd need every able-bodied seaman we could get, we gathered up Long John Silverplate, and with Benny and George rented a dive boat from Cape Hatteras, and were on our way to dive for the H.M.S. Twain II. We could only hope we would get there before Queeg.
You think we've located her, Long John?
Well, I can't be sure it's her, but it's a ship where her might well be. After all, this be Albemarle Sound, eh?
Do you think Queeg has been here?
He couldn't have found her. Dived and left already. We be number first.
Have you ever done this before, George?
I don't believe so, Benny, and it's probably something I'd remember, don't you think?
Hey, don't be bitter just because I won the coin toss. It was probability. You had a 50-50 chance.
This be your lifeline. Pull twice when you found the ship, 3 times when you want to surface. Not to fear, George boy. We pump air from above through the hose down to you. That be so you won't die.
Good idea.
Good luck, Pard.
Avast! He's found the ship. That'll be enough.
Trudy. Trudy, are you all right? What's the meaning of this, Queeg? You have no right to this ship.
Yeah, you're right, I don't. This one is first come, first served.
That's right, we're first.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, isn't it? The air hose, you know what to do.
You're insane. That's murder.
If I were you, I'd jump into the water and swim for it. It's your only chance. Or when we're through with you and your ship, you'll wish you were back in the Devil's Triangle. Go ahead, cut the hose.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Captain Greco, am I ever glad to see you?
You've heard of backup cops? We're boat-up cops.
Get out of my way. Give me that axe. All right.
George!
Hey, Pat! Look!
George!
There's a lot of good stuff down there.
We snagged them, and the Coast Guard pulled them up before we came on board, Pat.
Miss Tuesday, it's that sweet, icky smell again. The same one I smelled in my apartment after the break-in.
All right, let's hear what you have to say about it, Philip Francis Bogey.
Meat puppet Donnawhy? But
you not be Queeg.
So I may not be an altogether wonderful human being. I know I make several $1 million a season, but a TV host has to think about his golden years when he'll be in reruns. You see, enough is never really enough.
We picked up Queeg early this morning in New York. He had nothing to do with it. Meat Puppet planted the ball bearing to throw us off. Queeg is going into a new line of work.
He's given up scamming the Bermuda Triangle?
Yep.
What be he doing now?
Well, he's found an area near Perth Amboy, New Jersey, where he claims Canada geese are disappearing without a trace. He calls it the Perth Amboy parallelogram. Triangle? Parallelogram?
Coast Guard reports the ship can be raised, and the money, Trudy, belongs to you.
Almost $5 million. Just enough to cover my freshman year in college.
So the first H.M.S. Twain really did hit a hurricane?
Yes, it was supposed to go to Hamilton, Massachusetts.
The Patriots were meant to find her and sink her, figuring they had stopped the British resupply efforts while the second ship went on to Cornwallis.
What be the secret plans?
Well, the gold and silver were going to be used to try and bribe our founding fathers in hopes they'd call off the revolution.
What a scheme.
Of course, we'll never know what might have happened because your grandfather
To the fourth power.
sunk his ship.
He scuttled her? Sank her on purpose?
That's what it looks like.
He was not a Tory. He was a patriot.
And the Brits were right to try and hang him.
They were right?
Uh-huh. Gramps was a traitor. Working for the Americans, thank goodness.
Dum-de-dum-dum, dum-de-dum-dum-dum.
MP Donnawhy was tried in Manhattan in and for the state of New York. He was found guilty of a 135.25, kidnapping in the first degree, a 140.20, burglary in the third degree, a 155.42, grand larceny in the first degree, and 110.05, attempted murder. He is spending prime time in State's prison, where he does a closed-circuit television show, which no one watches.
Stay tuned for all your friends on Sesame Street next, right here in Two-Town.
100% of Mathnet is a production of the Children's Television Workshop. This program was made possible by grants from the National Science Foundation, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by the financial support of viewers like you.